Hi, I'm James Frederick, and this is the Airshow Seekers. Here we go, up into the cockpit.
Okay, welcome to the C-130J cockpit.
This is gonna be sweet. Don't want to be on the receiving end of one of these guys. We are the Airshow Seekers, and we're actually filming a show today. Yeah, I was actually looking at this giant torpedo-looking thing, but I know I've done a little bit of research, and I do know that this is a fuel tank. How much fuel does this hold?
We hold right about 70,000 pounds of fuel.
And this is for extended travel.
Extended range.
To go further than what you're...
Right, we can fly about 14 hours.
Wow. If
you're up high toward the end of the flight. Normally a storm mission is about 11 hours average. And our mission is pretty much limited by gas. We'll take off out of St. Croix, where we operate out of, and we'll fly out to the middle of the Atlantic. And we'll fly the storm for 4 or 5 hours. Depending on the position of the storm, it may take 2 hours to get to the storm, and 2 hours to get back, that's 4. You figure you're gonna spend 6 hours in the storm, you know. Or you may take 4 hours to get to the storm, and then 4 hours back home. That's, 8 hours. It doesn't leave a whole lot of time in the storm environment. But typically, once we get to the hurricane, we're going to drop down to 10,000 feet. That's the pressure altitude of 2992 for the pilots. And we're going to stay there for 4 or 5 hours. And if you think of a pie, when you slice a pie, you make that little pie wedge shape.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're going to fly into the eye, out, and then we're going to make a left turn. We're going to go through, make a left turn, come back through. We're going to slice and dice it. The whole time we're out there, this pod right over here is the step frequency microwave radar. We call it the Smurf. Before we had this, we actually had to look out the window, and we could tell how fast the wind was blowing by the sea state. Whether you had a green foamy patch, it'd be like 35 knots, or white streaks, it'd be up around 65 knots. Although there were limitations. You had to be VMC, you had to be able to see the water. If you had nighttime, you couldn't see the ocean. With this radar, this is constant, 24/7. Every time we're flying, it's reading the surface waves. What that allows us to do is actually map the wind field. So if you look at the Weather Channel, when they put out their forecast, they may say the hurricane force winds are on the north and the northeast quadrants of the storm, whereas on the south side, there's only tropical force. And that affects the forecast. They may evacuate Bimini, but yet Key West, you can feel relatively safe because we know where the hurricane force winds are now. Before, it was just like a little spot winds, but this is this beautiful piece of equipment here. And that's really what we want to do.
It's helped you out a lot.
Oh, tremendous, yeah.
Because, I mean, I see that, your visibility from your window doesn't seem very...
Actually, we have wonderful visibility on the C-130 because we have 23 windows. Most airplanes have got one little window, the commercial cargo airplanes.
See, it doesn't seem that way from down here, but...
Oh, we'll go and take a look. It's pretty awesome. It's a wonderful airplane. I've enjoyed flying it the last 26 years. Now,
how much longer flight time do you get with one of these fuel tanks?
Oh, this would probably give us a couple hours extra range.
And they would be both, one on each side.
Yes, yeah, and that's correct. A lot of the J models don't have these external tanks.
And you're only
We have them because of the extended overwater operation.
Yeah, are you capable of 2, or is 2 your maximum?
Just 1 on each side.
On each side?
Just the max, yeah.
All right.
Still 14 hours is long enough.
Yeah, it's a pretty long flight.
Let's go.